Today marks the 70th day of anti-regime protests in Iran. Protests that erupted over the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who died while in police custody after not covering her hair properly. But the protests have gone far beyond a call for change to Iranian women's rights. Activists are now calling for an end to the brutal regime that has ruled Iran for decades. Since the protests started, more than 400 people have been killed and 15,000 people have been arrested, according to human rights groups. And there are reports of brutal beatings and sexual assault. ABC News exclusively received video diaries showing us firsthand accounts from people on the ground as they protest the regime. ABC's Maggie Ruley reports from London. These are the faces of Iranian women that were hoping for change, but never lived to see it. Capturing what they didn't know were some of the last moments of their lives.
وقتی چند سال گذشت خوشحال باشم که رفتم تصاورات و همه چی عوض شده.
Sarina, Nika, and Hadiz are among the many women killed by the Iranian regime during widespread protests that have swept through Iran over the past 3 months. Their names, their faces, their stories have now become rallying cries for those demanding regime change in Iran and an end to the brutality. The men and women risking their lives today were driven to the streets by the September 16th death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who witnesses say was beaten by Iran's morality police after being detained for not covering her hair properly, something that's mandatory in Iran. The regime denies that, saying she died in custody due to an underlying illness, a claim her family rejects. But her death has now sparked a movement. Thousands of men and women, mostly young, are demanding the end of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's Islamic regime.
We're scared, but with all our power, we move forward.
Aida is one of them. She lives in Iran and sent ABC News video diaries documenting her days since the start of the protests. We're using altered names to protect her and others' identity.
I wear a sweatshirt on top because the bullets hurt. I'm wearing these leggings under, but I'm going to wear jeans over them so it doesn't bruise a lot.
Aida shows us what it's like preparing for these protests, knowing very well the chances of being hit with rubber bullets or worse.
The truth is that I'm not scared at all.
Daria also lives in Iran. She's seen firsthand what the regime is capable of.
Sometimes we didn't do anything. We just started walking, and suddenly they attack us and hurt us very bad. My family, all of them, have been beaten with the plastic bullets, and you might be killed and you might be arrested. They grab your number plates of the car, and that's the end. They have done terrible things, and we're not gonna let them stay.
These protests are in their 3rd month. Protesters are facing brutality and death and violence, yet somehow they keep going on.
I think how the young people imagine it is, why should we leave the country to find freedom? The previous generations left the country. We want to stay here. We want an ordinary life where women can be equal to men.
The quest for freedom has been fought before. In 2009, Iranians filled the streets protesting. Then President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's victory.
Turmoil in Tehran. Iranian riot police confronting supporters of the defeated presidential candidate.
Their claim that the election declaring Ahmadinejad the winner was rigged. The shooting death of 26-year-old student Neda Aga Sultan in those protests also sparked a global outcry, but the protests were eventually put down by the regime. Protests rose up again in 2017 and 2019, sparked by economic issues. But Iranians haven't seen nationwide protests at this level in recent decades until now. Do you feel like these protests are different than the protests we saw in 2019? Will they
actually have a different outcome?
2019 was nationwide, but it wasn't diverse enough. We didn't see enough of the middle class on the street. In the Green movement, we saw the middle class, but we didn't see enough of the less affluent classes of the country. I think this movement, it feels like a conclusion of all of these protest movements. You don't see the young generation alone on the streets. You see their parents with them.
These protests started because of lack of freedoms for women in Iran. But women aren't the only ones taking to the streets. Many young men have joined the protests in solidarity because they say it's now a fight for the future of Iran and its people.
تو طول این سالها مردها هم فهمیده بودن که وقتی حکومت اقتدارگراست هم زنها رو رنج میده و هم مردها رو و دوش زنان به خیابان.
Iranian filmmaker Mushkan Ananlu has been outspoken on social media, posting herself on the first day of protests without a headscarf, writing, "I am the woman who has come to claim her life back. Be scared of me. I have nothing to lose."
من 7 سالم بود وقتی که انقلاب اسلامی پیروز شد. الان 51 سالم شده و تمام دوران زندگیم رو با تمام حوادث سیاسی و اجتماعی طی کردم.
A month after we spoke with her, she was detained by the Iranian police, where she remains behind bars.
No one really knows what's exactly going on in those jails. There are some reports of sexual harassments. A number of younger prisoners killed themselves after being released. Torture, number of people on the death row. But what's important is that I think in the past few weeks, it's become clear that this is going to continue.
It's a movement that has come at a price. Khomeini's regime clamping down on its youth with strict crackdowns on the internet and social media. At least 449 protesters are estimated to have been killed since the start of the protests. 58 of them were children. And the activist agency Harana reports some 15,000 protesters have been arrested. The question now, how will these protests end? And will the lack of a clear leader doom it to the same fate as past protests?
جنبش 1000 سره. میگن چرا این جنبش سر نداره؟ میگن برای اینکه جنبش 1000 سره. یه گروه کور، ببینید ما تکنوازی یکی بیاد بخونه بقیه گوش بدن نیست. یه گروه کوره.
The people rising up in unison, singing for freedom, for freedom, for freedom. But will their voices be heard?
The unrest there taking place for months. Our thanks to Maggie and her team for bringing us that in-depth report.